Soon, you'll be working with Waste Management, one of the world's leading waste collection companies. We service 27 million commercial and residential customers across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Your job is important to us. One of our primary concerns is safety for our employees, our communities, and our customers. Your actions on the job can affect not only your safety, but also the safety of others. Your job will involve working on large and complicated vehicles in heavy traffic areas, so it's very important that you think about safety first. In this short program, you're going to learn how Waste Management practices safety. As a temporary employee, you have several responsibilities. First, you're expected to report for work well-rested and in good health. Waste Management supervisors will not allow anyone to work if they arrive at the site tired or under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Secondly, you're expected to follow the safe working practices that are explained in this safety program. Finally, it's your responsibility to ask for help if you do not understand how to do a job or if you are unsure of the proper way of doing a task. You must ask for help from the driver or the supervisor. It's their responsibility to help you get the job done safely. Before you start work, you must be properly dressed. Waste Management requires all employees to wear specific clothing so that they will be protected on the job. You should report to work wearing a long or short sleeve shirt. It's recommended that you wear long sleeves for better skin protection. Tank tops are not allowed. You can wear long pants or shorts. It's recommended that you wear long pants to avoid getting puncture wounds or scratches on your legs. Your job will involve getting on and off equipment on a regular basis. Ankle support and traction are important. Therefore, work boots are required. Your work boots must be at least 6 inches tall and lace up the ankle. If you're working in cold weather, you may want to wear a hat. If you're working in hot weather, a hat and light-colored clothing will help to protect you from the sun. You'll also need specific safety equipment. A high-visibility vest will be provided. Now, this vest will help other drivers see you from a distance. It must be worn at all times. You'll also be provided with safety glasses. These glasses help keep objects out of your eyes. If you wear prescription glasses, the safety glasses should fit right over them. Gloves will be provided to protect you from sharp objects, hot surfaces, and spilling material. A safety briefing is a statement or discussion about a task that you will soon perform. During a safety briefing, responsibilities should be assigned, potential hazards identified, and safety precautions discussed. A safety briefing also includes a discussion about what action to take if an unexpected problem occurs. Safety briefings should give everyone the chance to ask questions. For example, a safety briefing might occur before 2 or more people move a large or heavy item, or before starting a route when 2 people are paired together for the first time. Sometimes, no matter how safe we are, an emergency situation may occur. One of the potential hazards on a vehicle is a fire. Now, these fires usually start in the hopper area. While you're on the route, watch for smoke, hot spots, or blistering paint. These are signs of a potential fire. If you see any of these signs, tell the driver immediately. Do not attempt to put out a fire by yourself. The drivers are trained to handle this type of situation. 2 other emergency situations that you may face are spills and downed electrical wires. Again, in both of these situations, you should tell the driver immediately. While on the route, an incident or near miss may occur. An incident would be any type of injury or collision. You must report all incidents to a supervisor immediately. A near miss is an injury or collision that almost occurred and should also be reported to the supervisor immediately. If you note any unsafe working conditions, such as the Packer panel controls working improperly, tell a supervisor immediately. Should you see medical waste, such as needles, red plastic bags, or sharps labeled containers, notify the driver and supervisor immediately. Let's review what we've covered so far about starting your route. You should report to work wearing a long or short sleeve shirt, shorts, or long pants, and 6-inch tall lace-up work boots. You may also want to wear a hat. A high visibility vest, glasses, and gloves will be provided, which are required on the job. A safety briefing is a statement or discussion about a task you will soon perform. You must report any emergencies, such as a potential fire or spill, to the driver immediately. You must report any incidents, near misses, injuries, or unsafe working conditions to the supervisor. Since you'll be working outside, you may be exposed to hot and humid weather for long periods of time. High temperatures and humidity can stress a person's body. While on the route, it's important to drink plenty of liquids like water or sports drinks. Under hot and humid conditions, drinks containing caffeine like coffee and some sodas are not good for you because they actually make you lose water. For every 18 ounces of caffeinated beverage a person drinks, they lose 8 ounces of water. So, it's better to drink water or sports drinks. Dehydration is the loss of water content and essential body salts that the body needs to function. There are 3 types of dehydration: mild, moderate, and severe. The symptoms for mild dehydration are thirst, a slightly dry mouth, and dry lips. To treat this type of dehydration, drink plenty of liquids. The symptoms of moderate dehydration: very dry mouth, sunken eyes, and the skin becomes loose. To treat this type of dehydration, drink plenty of fluids immediately. Severe dehydration is very serious. The warning signs can include dizziness, confusion, rapid breathing, blue lips. You'll stop sweating, and your feet and hands will get cold. This type of dehydration should be treated as a medical emergency. If you experience any of these warning signs for dehydration, tell the driver immediately. A riding step is a designated area that a helper can ride on safely while going short distances, such as between houses in a subdivision. A helper can never use a riding step if the vehicle is going more than 10 miles per hour or 16 kilometers per hour. These are the designated riding steps on a vehicle. These are the only areas outside the vehicle that a helper can use. While using the riding step, you must use 3 points of contact when mounting or dismounting from the vehicle. You can either use 2 hands and 1 foot or 2 feet and 1 hand. While on the riding step, your knees should be slightly bent and your body should be as close to the vehicle as possible. Always keep the step clear of mud, ice, and trash. You should always hold the grab handle with your hand and never lock your arm in it. It's very unsafe to pick up containers or bags from the riding step. Never do this while you are on the route. It is an extremely unsafe practice. While riding on the step, be aware of obstacles such as low-hanging branches. The vehicle can often lurch, so you must hold on tightly during the entire time you're on the riding step. You should always wait until the vehicle has come to a complete stop before getting off the riding step. Never jump off the vehicle. There are times that you should not ride on the riding step. You should never ride on the step while the vehicle is in reverse, driving at high speeds, or going through an intersection. While you're on the route, you must wear a seatbelt whenever you ride in a vehicle. You and your driver are a team. It's important that you communicate with each other. Besides safety briefings, a maneuver that requires clear communication is when you are helping the driver back his vehicle. As a helper, you should stand on the opposite side of the driver where you can see possible collision points. If the driver is backing from the right side, however, the helper should also be on the right side. You should not stand in the path or behind the vehicle when the backup lights or backup alarm are on. You should not walk backwards when the vehicle is backing. You must direct the driver to stop, walk to the new position, and then signal the driver to start backing again. To communicate with the driver while backing, you must use Waste Management's standard hand signals. This is the signal to proceed slowly, either backwards or forwards. When the palms face down, it is forward. When the palms face up, it is backward. This is the signal to turn either right or left. When the left arm is extended out, it indicates that the vehicle should go left. When the right arm is extended out, it indicates that the vehicle should go right. This signal indicates the distance a driver has to go to a stopping point. If your hands are wide apart, then the vehicle is not close to the stopping point. As your hands get closer, it indicates that the stopping distance is getting shorter. This signal tells a driver to stop the vehicle and wait for further instructions. This signal indicates that the vehicle should be stopped immediately. This signal lets the driver know that they are clear to leave the area in the direction that you are pointing. As mentioned earlier, you'll be working in high traffic areas. It's important that you pay attention to everything around you. Watch for other vehicles and always be careful when coming around the side of the vehicle. Double siding is when someone crosses the street to pick up a container to load on the vehicle. This is a hazardous maneuver, and Waste Management does not allow this practice. Waste Management will not pick up some items because they are considered dangerous. We call these items unauthorized waste. Some of the items that we will not pick up are fluorescent bulbs, medical waste, paint cans, dead animals, refrigerators, air conditioners, motor oil and car batteries, or products containing Freon. Different sites have different types of unauthorized waste. Check with a supervisor to find out what items are unauthorized on your route. If you do find unauthorized items, tell the driver. On the route, you'll spend a lot of time lifting. Lifting is physically demanding, so it is important that you use proper lifting techniques to avoid an injury. Here are the proper techniques for lifting or moving containers, plastic bags, and a container on casters. To lift a container, first check the weight by rocking it. Never put your hand in it to push down on materials. When lifting a container, always keep the carrying distance as short as possible from the curb to the hopper, and use two hands. Use container handles if they're available. When lifting a container, use the squat position and use your leg muscles. It helps to tighten your stomach muscles. Keep the weight at a height between your knees and shoulders and close to your body to reduce muscle strain. You should keep your hips and shoulders moving in the same direction. Avoid any twisting at the waist. Again, to lift a container, you should check the weight, keep the carrying distance close, use two hands, use the handles, use the squat position, and tighten stomach muscles. You should also keep the weight between your knees and shoulders and close to your body. Keep your hips and shoulders going in the same direction. To safely lift a plastic bag, you will basically use the same techniques as you would for lifting a container. You should first look for holes and objects sticking out like broken glass or syringes, and then check the weight. You should use the squat position and use your legs and tighten your stomach muscles. Again, keep the weight at a height between your knees and shoulders. However, with a bag, you should keep it at a distance from your body, not close to your body. Keep in mind that in hot weather, bags may stretch or tear more easily. You should keep your hips and shoulders moving in the same direction and avoid twisting at the waist. Again, to lift a plastic bag, you should check for holes. Check the weight. Keep it at a distance from your body, use two hands, and use the squat position and tighten stomach muscles. You should also keep the weight between your knees and shoulders and a distance from your body. Keep your hips and shoulders going in the same direction. Some of Waste Management's containers are on casters. To safely move these containers, you should always try to push them instead of pull them. Use your leg and shoulder muscles to move it. Avoid twisting your back. Be careful of containers near slopes. Move them very slowly so that the container will not roll away. Some of you may be required to operate the packer blade to pack the material in the hopper. Since there are so many different types of vehicles and packer blade systems, this type of training will have to be provided at the site. It is important that you get training on using the packer blade before you operate it. Many of Waste Management's vehicles contain confined spaces. A confined space is an area large enough for a person to enter, has limited ways to get in and out, and is not designed for a person to occupy. For example, on a vehicle, it would be the area located inside the body behind the blade. Only authorized waste management employees can enter this area after they have followed a process to safely secure the vehicle. Once a vehicle has been safely secured, the employee will place a tag on it. If you ever see this tag, never remove it for any reason. Disposal locations are landfills or transfer stations. These are places where the material in the vehicle is empty. They're very busy locations with heavy equipment and vehicles moving constantly. Because of all this traffic, these locations are considered hazardous. Once you have arrived at a disposal site, you have two options. The first option is to get out of the vehicle at the entry station and wait until the driver comes back. While at the station, be careful of other vehicles. The other option is to ride with the driver. However, you are not allowed to leave the vehicle at any time. You are never allowed to get out at the working face of a disposal location. Let's review the safe practices that we've discussed while working on the route. Drink plenty of fluids. Watch for signs of dehydration, like a dry mouth and dizziness. Wear your seatbelt when riding in the cab. Only use designated riding steps and always use 3 points of contact. Wait until the vehicle comes to a full stop to get off and never jump off the riding step. Use proper hand signals when directing the driver to back up. Never cross the street and pick up containers from the other side. Do not pick up unauthorized waste. To lift a container, you should check the weight, keep the carrying distance close, use 2 hands, use the handles, use the squat position and tighten stomach muscles. You should also keep the weight between your knees and shoulders and close to your body. Keep your hips and shoulders going in the same direction. To lift a plastic bag, you should check for holes, check the weight, use 2 hands, use the squat position and tighten stomach muscles. You should also keep the weight between your knees and shoulders and a distance from your body. Keep your hips and shoulders going in the same direction. Containers on casters should be pushed instead of pulled. Use your leg and shoulder muscles to move it. Avoid twisting your back. Be careful of containers near slopes. Move them very slowly so that they will not roll away. Only authorized waste management employees can enter a confined space. If you ever see a safely secured tag, never remove it for any reason. While at the disposal location, you can either get out of the vehicle and wait at the station or stay in the vehicle while the vehicle is being emptied. Never get out of the vehicle at the working face of the disposal location. It's important that you follow all of these safe practices while working on the job. We've spent a lot of time going over the safe practices that waste management expects you to follow while on the job. It may seem like a lot, but it really all boils down to using your common sense and thinking about safety first. There are a few things that you must do when you report to work. First, you must report to a supervisor or driver trainer and go through any site-specific policies and training that they may need you to complete. Next, you'll need to meet with the driver that you'll be working with and conduct a safety briefing to discuss how the two of you will work together on the route. Third, ensure that you are wearing the proper personal protective equipment. Once you've completed these steps, you'll be ready to work. Remember, your actions on the job can affect not only your safety, but also the safety of others. Be smart and be safe out there.